was and would be. And the Prophet ﷺ said that was 50,000 years before the creation of this world. And that is what we know as the Lawh al-Mahfuz, the protected tablet in the heavens in which all things are written. Anybody want to ask a question? Go ahead.
Assalamu
alaikum.
You mentioned just now about AIDS being a punishment for mankind. What is your opinion of a Muslim person struggling to solve this disease, or even have support for it?
Okay, so this question, what is the position of a Muslim seeking to find a cure for this, since this is a punishment from Allah? It's still valid for a Muslim to try to seek a cure. Prophet ﷺ said, cure your diseases, because for every disease which Allah has prescribed, there is a cure. So the idea of us seeking a cure and relieving humankind of some of their suffering, this is something which Islam recognizes. You could say, for example, in a person's life, he may suffer any kind of calamity. Maybe he was not such a good person and, he had a calamity, he lost his house, lost his family, etc. To say, well, I'm not going to help him because he's being punished for his bad life. No, you still help the person. People in suffering, people harmed, etc., we still try to help them in spite of the fact that what they are suffering may be a punishment from Allah. Further question?
I would like to get some clarification. I'm quite in the dark in the sense that your lecture gave me some light on why humans are created, but there's always a doubt within myself. Why is there's no equality?
There's
no equality in the process of being born.
Okay. Shall I
You
answer that?
touched on the aspect of hell and heaven. What I mean, I don't just equality in the sense that, let me finish, equality in the sense that we worshiping the need of worshiping God. Why is that some humans are born without ability to worship? So in this aspect, where do they go? Hell or heaven? That's one.
Okay.
And the other one is, what happens to a baby which is born and lives for 2 days or 3 days and it vanishes from the world? So where do they go? Thank you.
Okay. Actually, your last question was already answered. I explained already, any child that dies before puberty, before maturity, being able to choose between right and wrong, that child is brought back along with all those people who never received the message. If for some reason they were in some place, they couldn't hear the message, or they were retarded, or they were deaf, dumb, and blind, the information didn't get to them, prior to the final judgment, they will be brought back. And a messenger will be sent to them. They will be presented with belief in God or rejection of that belief and obeying God's command. Those who obey them will go on to paradise. Those who do not will go to hell. So there is fairness in that regard. Secondly, the other point that you raised, which had to do with the inequalities in birth, that people are born in different statuses, this is part and parcel of the test of this life. Right? Allah says that He has favored some of you over others in order that He would test you. For example, to bring out the quality of generosity, which we will recognize, all human beings recognize as one of the higher qualities of human beings. To be truly generous, a giving person. Some of us have to have and some of us don't have for generosity to come out. If we're all born equal, everybody having what everybody else has, how can you then be generous? So that difference is a means of bringing out in the individual generosity. Similarly, some people have knowledge and some people don't have knowledge, have access to knowledge and some people don't have access to knowledge. These are again inequalities and differences. But again, that gives the individual who has the knowledge a chance to grow spiritually by sharing that knowledge. That makes him a better person, or makes her a better person, the one who shares the knowledge they have with others. Similarly, the one who doesn't have the knowledge to seek that knowledge, that makes them also a better person. So it puts them in a circumstance where they can grow through seeking. It puts the other person in a circumstance where they can grow through sharing. So the inequalities which exist amongst human beings, and the fact that no human beings are created the same, these inequalities are there to bring out the higher qualities of human spirituality and spiritual growth. In your opinion, what is the best way to learn Islamic knowledge or Arabic language, in school or with ulama? It could be both ways. To say the best way, it will depend on the ulama. It will depend on the school. So one cannot just flatly say the best way is this way and not that way. These are both channels by which one may gain knowledge, and one may try to utilize both if possible, be in school and also learn under the source. What the Quran and Hadith says about attire, awra, women. Well, where was purpose of creation here? Anyway, let me make a point here. The question is with regards to the aura of the woman, meaning how a woman should be dressed in Islam. We as Muslims should have knowledge, sufficient knowledge, to live our daily lives in a way which is pleasing to Allah. Prophet ﷺ said, "Talabul ilmi farida ala kulli Muslim." Seeking knowledge is compulsory for every Muslim. This compulsory knowledge is sufficient knowledge to get us through our day doing what God has prescribed for us. That is the basic knowledge which we need to know. If we go into the area of dress, the basic dress of the Muslim woman is that she should be covered from head to toe, with the exception of her face and hands. That is the basic requirement of dress for the woman. And that dress that she wears should be loose, not form-fitting, showing the shape of her body, and nor should it be colorful and bright and attractive in and of itself. It is for the purpose of reducing the sexual tension in the society. The female dress, as well as the male dress, because people like to ask questions about the female dress, but usually they leave out the male dress, Brothers would insist that their wives are covered from head to toe, but then they come out dressing like shorts or tight pants or these kind of things. There are requirements for the males also, that their aura, the plate between the navel and the knee, should be covered in such a way that their private areas are not exposed. It doesn't merely mean wearing clothes, because if you wear clothes which in your normal movements, you're sitting, you're standing, it shows and fits and forms the private areas of your body, which is between your navel and knee, then you're not properly covered either. And furthermore, in Salah, one of the conditions for Salah is Satrul Awra, covering the private areas. So those brothers who are praying in Western pants, and remember, Western fashion has a different purpose from Islamic fashion and dress. Two different purposes. When people wear clothing from the Islamic point of view, the first purpose is to cover the private